Morphic resonance is a metabiological principle, and it's one of the most fundamental systems in the dynamics of reality. It governs all patterns in nature, an unseen force which informs the genesis of all beings. As previously established, reality consists of two realms which have a sexual relationship, the product of which is existence. Morphic resonance must also be understood in this way. In the metaphysical world, there are morphic fields. In the physical world, there are cells and molecules. For each species or life form, there exists a morphic field. The cells or molecules that belong to the life form resonate with the morphic field, and through this receive data across space and time. The idea of morphic resonance was first conceived when studying the crystallization of new chemicals. When a new molecule is created, a new blank morphic field is also created. When scientists attempt to crystallize this new chemical for the first time, it'll take a long time. As this crystallization process is repeated in labs around the world, the crystals begin to form more easily. This is because a new pattern or molecular memory has been created and stored in the morphic field. The molecules of the compound now resonate with the new data across space. Another example of this species' collective memory is when rats are taught a trick in a lab in one part of the world. Rats in other labs in other parts of the world can also learn the same trick faster. This is the basic principle of morphic resonance, but its true effects run much deeper than just this. Each species or life form specific morphic field is fractal. Within them, there are smaller morphic fields, specific to races, tribes, families, individuals, cells, and so on. Organisms resonate with memories or patterns created by organisms most similar to themselves. Usually this is ancestors. On a passive level, this is why we look the way that we do. When in utero, our cells resonate with our familial morphic fields. This informs the shape that we take, the phenotype we develop, i.e. skin tone, height, bone density, facial features. Morphic resonance also informs our metaphysical traits, personality, fears, habits, preferences, etc. It's widely believed that this information is stored in the DNA. DNA is a chemical molecule that allows cells to create proteins by spelling out the sequence of amino acids needed to produce said proteins. These proteins do not dictate the curl pattern of your hair or the length of your legs. They're merely building materials. For an organism to be formed from these materials, there must be an architectural plan. This plan is inherited from your ancestors and received by your cells via morphic resonance. The idea of heredity via genes debunked itself in the year 2000 with the Human Genome Project. When given the full gene set of a human being, physical characteristics such as height could only be predicted with an accuracy of about 10%. This created the missing heritability problem. I believe that the answer to this problem lies in morphic resonance. All organisms are constantly resonating with their morphic fields. This is how spiders know how to spin webs without being taught, how some mammals are born with the knowledge of how to walk and hunt or forage. The information required to do these things exists within their species' collective memory. This aspect of morphic resonance is often referred to as blood memory, an epigenetic inheritance from our ancestors. This blood memory aspect is where morphic resonance becomes practical. We can call upon the great wisdom of our ancestors by resonating with their memories, which are stored in our familial morphic fields. The way that we can do this is through ritual. Resonance is strongest between those that are most similar to one another. When we perform rituals, dances, or acts practiced by our ancestors, we become most similar to them, and thus are able to resonate with their memories stored in our morphic fields. This is effectively the mechanism behind ancestor worship. Before modernity, people lived very similar lives to their ancestors, and thus were able to receive ancestral memory with ease. However, in this day and age, our lives are very far removed from anything our predecessors experienced, and thus it becomes harder for us to download their memory data, contributing to the modern sense of loneliness that many of us experience. Every time we create a new memory or pattern, be it muscular or mental, we're adding data to our morphic fields, creating new memories to be resonated with by other members of our species. We are thus perpetually uploading and downloading data to and from our morphic field. The reductive materialist sciences believe that memories are stored in and generated by the brain, perhaps in some form of protein or neuron cluster. Now, no such protein has ever been found, and I believe that no such protein ever will be found. Rupert Sheldrake compares searching for memories in the brain to looking for yesterday's news broadcast in the television wires. The brain, like the television antenna, is a receiver. Our memories are stored in our morphic fields. Our brains are effectively hardware, designed specifically to resonate with and receive the frequencies of our memories. We're of course most similar to ourselves, and for this reason are able to call upon memories or behavioral patterns created by ourselves with great ease. When damaged, the brain's ability to resonate with its morphic field is impaired, resulting in gaps in memory or inability to receive consciousness uniformly. Morphic resonance has important implications for ideas about life after death. It's widely believed that memory, and by extension consciousness, is stored in the brain. The brain decomposes after death, suggesting that our memories disappear with our flesh. However, if memory is stored in our morphic fields, our memory, and by extension our consciousness, continues to exist after the dissolution of our flesh. It is through our offspring that we continue to exist. Both our memories and our physical traits are inherited by our descendants. In this way, we never truly die. P.S. It's my belief that for vertebrate animals, the material which resonates with morphic data is cholesterol. About 40% of all animal cell membranes are made of cholesterol. The brain, which is the main receiver of data, is made almost entirely of cholesterol. The same goes for the testes, which produce the sperm cells that contain the code needed to form new life. The most effective way to increase your ability to resonate with your morphic field is through the consumption of raw cholesterol-rich foods, such as brain, bone marrow, testicles, raw butter, ghee, eggs, etc. It's for this reason that when people consume a diet more rich in saturated animal fats, they report a decrease in brain fog and an increase in their ability to recall memories.